Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of October 2019. Hello and welcome, whether you are watching for yourself or cross-watching for another individual with these placements. Special thanks to all of you who have continued to support this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes, especially those of you who have been with me since the very beginning. We actually broke 25,000 subscribers, which is amazing. As some of you may know, I do like to offer giveaways from time to time, so I'm going to be doing a giveaway on my Instagram for a chance to win a personal reading or a Reiki session with me. So if you haven't followed me on all of my social media already, I have all of those links down below. Make sure to follow and subscribe so that way you don't miss out on your chance to win a personal reading or a Reiki session in this giveaway and future giveaways as well. All of the links, again, are down below, as well as links for personal readings, Reiki sessions, and donations for those of you who feel so called. For those of you who are brand new to my channel, I do like to start off these general readings with a brief astrological report. I find that these often complement each other, the tarot and astrology. And I have a more thorough list of the aspects and transits in a blog post linked down below as well for those of you who are really interested. If you'd like to skip ahead to the start of the reading though, I do have a timestamp in the comment section, or if someone will post a timestamp down below, and I will pin that to the top, and you can just go straight ahead to the reading. But again, I do feel it is helpful. September was a really, really intense month. I feel probably one of the most intense months of 2019, and I do feel like we are still kind of coming out of the aftermath of that, especially with all of the very strong Pluto influence throughout October, because we have planets moving through Scorpio. We have Pluto going direct on October 3rd. We have Mercury retrograde in Scorpio on October 31st, we have the new moon in Scorpio on the 28th. So it's like whatever it was that kind of came to the surface last month with all of those oppositions between Virgo and Neptune and Pisces, I feel like there was a lot of exposure and revelations. People were coming out with like these bombshells, these big truths. And I think we're really going to be exploring more of that this month for October. It seems like kind of a natural progression, right? Now that all of this truth has been revealed, we're really going to be figuring out how that changes our lives or how that changes our relationships. And that seems to be a big theme for the month of October. Specifically for you, Cancer, we have planets moving through Libra and Scorpio, which are your 4th and 5th house, so your house of home, your roots, your lineage, your ancestry, who you are deep down. Your 4th house is your Imam Kowali, or the lowest point in the sky from the moment you were born, and it represents your deepest aspect, who you are deep down. And then your 5th house pertains to creativity, to productivity, progeny, offspring. So really a lot of just passion and creativity, and also pleasure as well. Those are really going to be big themes for you. I feel like you're going to be channeling all of this very big emotional energy in kind of these creative ways. I could see that might be helpful for some of you, Cancer. I do also feel with the new moon in Scorpio and the Mercury retrograde that's going to be happening right at the end of October, I almost get the sense that mediumship is going to be very, very strong. So getting messages from deceased loved ones or connecting with deceased loved ones and getting messages from spirit guides from the other side, I feel like it's going to be a very powerful time for that, because Scorpio is all about death, rebirth, transformation, and with that new moon in Scorpio, I do feel like that is really going to be amping up psychic abilities for a lot of people, and then compound that with Mercury, the planet of communication, going retrograde, bringing this internal focus, this inward focus. It's really making me feel like we're going to be connecting psychically in very strong and profound ways throughout this Mercury retrograde. Even though they can be notorious for being difficult in terms of daily communication, interrupting our plans, creating delays or blockages, I feel like we are going to be connecting more spiritually during this time, especially for Samhain, for Halloween on the 31st. it is when the veil is thinnest. So that is something to really develop if it's something that's a good time to develop these things if you are interested in mediumship, if you're interested in developing your psychic abilities. I think that's a great opportunity. But yeah, I feel like October, it's going to be... I don't feel like it's going to be as intense of a month. With Pluto going direct, we do also have, however we've been transformed since April, whatever has been going on for us, because that is when Pluto and Saturn went retrograde. Saturn went direct last month, and now we have Pluto going direct this month. This is all in Capricorn, which is your 7th house, so there's a lot of transformations in your relationships and partnerships, the way you approach love, the way you approach intimacy and vulnerability, and I do feel like you are getting some relief, some release and pressure. I know for my Cancers, this year has been really, really intense because we have had Pluto and Saturn in your opposite sign in Capricorn. It's really been pushing you. It's like the world outside of you has been pushing you down. And I do feel like there is some relief. And if you have passed the test of Pluto, whatever has been lost from you, whatever has been stripped away or taken, if you pass this test, if you persevered, if you learned the lessons, you will get back not only what you had lost, you will also get more. You'll get bonus. You'll get that and then some. So that's really, really exciting, especially in love relationships as well. And I think that's pretty much everything in regards to the astrology. Again, I do have a link down below, the blog post, the astrological forecast, for those of you who are interested in that. I am very curious to see what we have happening for you, Cancer. I'm going to start shuffling the cards now. Please keep in mind that these are general readings, meaning not all the messages are going to resonate with you. If this video does not resonate or you'd like greater clarity, you are more than welcome to check out the Heart of the Matter love readings. Those are timeless readings. You can look through that playlist if you want more love advice or relationship advice than this video provides. You can also look at your moon, rising, or Venus signs. If you don't know what those are, I do have a natal chart calculator in the description box down below that can help you figure out those other placements. And because this is a general reading, do keep in mind that some of the roles may be switched. If there is someone who is popping up, it could actually be your own energy or vice versa. So if I'm describing someone else's energy and it feels more like your own, just switch the roles, especially if you are cross-watching for a Cancer individual. The roles can very easily get switched up there too. Let's see. So what are the messages for Cancer coming into the month of October? So this is referring to September or even further back. These are the themes that you have been learning, that's things you may have been left behind. Interesting. We have the 9 of Cups, Justice, and the 7 of Cups. Some of you may be dealing with a Libra, especially romantically, with Justice showing up in the heart, the emotions. I do feel like there was a decision you had to make, kind of a head over heart decision. You had to make the logical choice. You had to choose something that might not have felt very good, and you were really, with this 9 of Cups, you really wanted to make this choice, or perhaps you didn't do this and you are starting to see the consequences of it. I'm getting the sense that your emotions are certainly clouding your judgment, Cancer, or they were coming into October with the 7 of Cups. Things were not very clear. You might have had to make this decision because you weren't sure what you wanted or because you weren't emotionally clear. I do feel like it was very important for you to focus on happiness. But it's like in the process of you focusing on what brings you joy, on what brings you happiness, on long term, on how you get your wishes fulfilled, you may have had to make a decision that didn't necessarily feel that great. And you felt very torn up, very confused, unsure. You might not have been seeing a situation clearly either. I'm actually very curious. I would like to clarify this Nine of Cups here. Why is the Nine of Cups here? Because this is showing up in your day-to-day life. On the surface, you might appear quite happy. The Son of Cups. This could be an individual who is very emotional, someone who is reaching out, starting something new. I'm actually getting the sense, however, that this is representing healing that is coming in. There could have been a romantic offer that was made, and you were a bit guarded to it. You were unsure of what to make of it. Could be any relationship, really, any sort of connection. It seems like this person was offering you a lot of happiness. But you weren't sure if you could trust them. Or maybe they weren't very trustworthy. Show me more about justice. Why is justice here? Two of Cups. Yeah, this is about you being guarded. Someone was opening up, trying to be vulnerable, maybe a commitment, wanting to connect with you. Maybe make amends here. But I see that you are more focused on making yourself happy, or if this is really in alignment with you, really trying to gauge that, and you're really not sure with the Seven of Cups. You're really confused. And there's these strong emotions, there's so much water here, but then to have the Justice card on top of it. Someone might be wanting to absolve something, they might be trying to make something up to you, and you're not sure what to make of that. Interesting. Show me the animal wisdom for Cancer. I almost wonder if for some of you this is a spouse, because we have the Justice card here. We have the Two of Cups, which suggests a commitment. But the Son of Cups is kind of interesting, because that can usually indicate someone putting themselves out there. It's almost more single energy, more of a bachelor. We have the raccoon. Yeah, again, there's this sense of not trusting someone wearing a mask, this sneaky, suspicious sort of feeling. Very interesting. Maybe this is someone from the past who has made you distrust them because of ways they have acted. You've opened yourself up to them and now you're being very guarded. Perhaps it's also due to another relationship in the past, something completely unrelated to this person now. I do feel like with the raccoon, you're having a hard time also expressing your dreams, what you really want to do, what you really want to work on. It's important for you to try new things, to really figure out who you are, Cancer. And if you're not sure of who that is, trying new activities, trying new things, especially working with the hands, with raccoon, figuring out what you like to do, exploring new hobbies, new activities. It's almost like dating yourself. Interesting. Right away. Interesting. Okay. Wow, I barely shuffled and all of these cards flew out. So we have the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands that came out together. This is showing up in your day-to-day life. That's heavy. But then we have this Ace of Cups in the emotions, heart, relationships. And the Fool, showing up in your psyche, your mind, your ego, communication. This could be pertaining to an Aries individual for some of you, although I am getting a strong water energy as well as Libra. Which also makes sense because Libra, Aries, that axis, it's about self and relationships. Finding the balance between those two things. I think you're still doing that. With this 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, there is something that is happening in your life that is really holding you down and making you feel very defeated. I do see that there is healing being brought to some situation. Perhaps you're bringing healing to a situation where someone is feeling very defeated, but the energy is honestly very, very heavy. This is a very uncomfortable completion here. But there is a new beginning as well, and there is a Fool, there is an opportunity to jump into something new, but it does take a willingness to be vulnerable. And you are feeling quite vulnerable here with this Ace of Cups. Wow, yeah, this 10 of Swords, this 10 of Wands. Some of you are just letting go of some burden. Some of you are just bringing an end to something that has been holding you down. Maybe you're just, closing out this energy, closing out this chapter. You're done. And whatever it is you're shedding, you have this very new, healed energy here. But it's a very interesting contrast because it's very dark here. I'm curious, why is the Ace of Cups here? Show me clearly. Show me why the Ace of Cups is here. Could be someone from the past, someone you called things off with. Yep, death. Wow. Yeah, this could be an ex. This could be someone from the past coming in for some of you, or maybe you're just thinking about them a lot. I know in these general readings there's a lot of people who say, so-and-so is coming back from the past, and a lot of people are like, no, they're not. But if they're in your mind, if they're in your energy, there's a reason that's coming up still. Even if they're not literally coming back into your life, there is something to be healed, there is something to be learned there. I feel like sometimes as readers we kind of don't keep that in mind, especially for these general readings. I do feel like there is healing from some sort of past connection here. I do see major transformation, major rebirth. There is a death here though as well, so that's very, very interesting. It's like death leading into rebirth, especially with this Fool energy. It's almost like whatever it is you've lost, whatever your circumstance is now, it's this springboard for you to just dive into something new. It's like, well, I've already lost all of this. I'm kind of at like... It's interesting because in some ways that's almost like a rock bottom sort of energy, but then you have this Fool, you have this spark, you're just going off into something new. It's like you're not dwelling. That doesn't mean you don't feel it. That doesn't mean it doesn't feel heavy. But you're choosing to do something different. You're taking action. Especially if you have felt delayed since April or really weighed down since April, when we had Saturn and Pluto going retrograde. I feel like with Pluto going direct, you may finally be letting go of this burden. There may be some grief involved with that, but I do see something new here. There could also be scorpionic energy. You know, we did have water sign energy with that Son of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, you're ending a cycle. Something is changing here. There's a big change, kind of clarifying the Fool. This might not come full circle until Sagittarius season, so kind of the end of November to the end of December, but you're thinking about the future, and maybe not even thinking, you're just acting now. There is something here. There's almost this predestined energy. And you're taking the dive into that. You're trusting. despite all of this hardship, despite all of this intensity. Very interesting, Cancer. This does feel a lot like this Pluto influence. Cobra and Elephant, very spiritually significant energy here. Cobra, it's all about timing, meditation. It can represent a teacher or a master. Some of you may be learning new spiritual concepts, or you may come across a new spiritual speaker who really resonates with you. This can sometimes take the form of an external teaching. But I do feel like this is a reflection of something you have been learning in the past few months. You might be cementing these spiritual concepts that you have been learning, but timing is very, very much a key component here. And again, this trust in the universe with Elephant, this trust in this process, this wheel of fortune, this destined contract. There is something very significant that is happening for you right now, Cancer, and it's requiring you to go through some intense transformation. I'm not going to lie. This doesn't look easy, but for some reason, your energy doesn't feel depleted. I'm not getting this worn, tired energy that I've been getting for you in the past. Something is different this month, and that could very well have to do with Pluto going direct, but you're done. It's like you're done with death. You're done with this heavy energy. You want to move forward, and you're willing to do that. And whatever it is that is blocking you or serving as a blockage, the universe is coming in and just bringing an end to that. So this Ten of Swords and this Ten of Wands, there is an end being brought to whatever is blocking you. And it can be very, very dramatic, even traumatic if you're attached to it in an unhealthy way. But I feel like the Elephant card is coming in and it is going to be pushing you along. And it's just important for you to have trust, to have faith that the universe has your back. Because it does. And I know you have been really struggling, Cancer. This has not been an easy year for you. But I'm getting this sense of finally something changing, something is shifting. So let's see where all of this is leading, where the current trajectory for all of this energy is going. This is what was being introduced into October. And because this is a general reading, do keep in mind that these time frames are a bit fluid. So don't get too caught up on when exactly. But if this is resonating, trust that this is the natural progression of where things are going. And we can also change them as well, especially using the animal cards. For Cobra, it's about meditation, becoming patient, waiting for the perfect time to strike, and for Elephant, it's just about trust. Where is all of this going? Where is all of this going for my Cancers? This could be the second half of October or beyond. I had Eight of Cups kind of flip out for a second, but it popped right back in. Some of you are definitely walking away from a situation that is no longer serving you. That's part of the death here. We'll see if it comes out again. Usually when a card flips up like that, though, it's kind of just reminding me to go back to a certain point. So I do feel like this move forward for some of you, it is leaving something or someone behind. And I do see the Emperor in your day-to-day life. The Four of Cups. And the Eight of Swords. Even though you want to go forward, I see that some of you are not... You're still struggling with how to do that. There might be something you're missing, you're not seeing here, because I see that with the Four of Cups, there might be an opportunity, you might be in kind of this poverty mentality. So it's really important for you to focus positively, for you to write in a gratitude journal, for even if it's small things, like, I had a nice dinner today, I saw so-and-so, I loved the weather today. It doesn't have to be big. What the point of that exercise is to refocus your brain, rewire your brain to look for things that make it feel good, that make it feel grateful. That's kind of a basic law of attraction technique. Gratitude will bring in abundance. And I see that some of you, you're not in this mindset, and because of it, you're having a hard time seeing an opportunity that is being presented to you, especially with the Emperor. It could be something very stable, could be something that is very a strong foundation in the long term. Might be pertaining to an Aries individual. Again, we do have the Fool and the Emperor. Both are kind of Aries energy to me. We also have the Eight of Swords, which tells me that yes, you're kind of stuck in your mind. You're stuck in your head. And even though this isn't always the brightest card to see in a reading, I do feel like it's actually kind of optimistic in a way, because you've already transformed. You've gone through this transformation. That's what this past few months has all been about for you, Cancer. You just haven't spread your wings. You haven't realized you can already fly away. You felt stuck in a situation, and there is this risk of you still staying stuck. You might be feeling like this Emperor is something external, something that is holding you back, something that is kind of oppressing you. And there was this very oppressive feeling here at the start of October, but you can move away from this. You can walk away, but it is a choice. And it might feel really uncomfortable. It might feel like getting out of your comfort zone, but it's like, what do you have left to lose? You've gotten kind of pinned into a corner here. You've kind of backed yourself into a corner, to be totally honest with you. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. I'm just being real. But you do have the ability to get yourself out. And it's not necessarily going to be comfortable. But it does require you really focusing and really counting your blessings. Because I see almost this, you're really wrapped up into some heavy energy. And it really surrounds you. But I do think it's important for you to refocus, to reshift your perspective. Because I do see an opportunity here, especially with the Ace of Cups, but you might not be seeing it. And by you shifting your focus positively, by focusing on gratitude, you are going to be more of a match to perceiving this new opportunity, this blessing here. What you need to do. You want to move forward. You really, really do. And you're feeling very stuck. And a lot of that, I hate to say, is kind of self-imposed. It's something you have learned from the people around you. While this may have been external in origin, it is something you are perpetuating inside of yourself. And I am seeing the Father of Wands at the bottom of the deck, so it could be involving kind of a patriarchal figure, could also be representing a fire sign. Maybe even a narcissist. What are the messages for Cancer? Animal wisdom, please. You might be getting assistance from the other side as well, from an Aries or maybe even a Leo now with Lion. And this is a card of emotional mastery. Meditation, composure. I do feel like this is any energy you're supposed to embody. And the Lion, it kind of represents the balance between introversion and extroversion to me. Because even though Lion lives in a pride, it's a feline. It's very inner focused, intuitive, feminine, but also masculine at the same time, balancing masculine and feminine. I do feel like it's really important for you to strike a balance between connecting with other people and sitting with yourself, sitting with your own emotions, meditating. A little Vipassana here, maybe. Self-mastery is available to you. Wherever you think you are, however far away it seems, it is available to you. You can use Lion as a guide to achieve that, if it feels like something that is lost to you. Whatever it is that you have been going through, the point has been you regulating your emotions. Regardless of the circumstance, you are being very, very pushed to find stability and to keep being open and connected with your people. And I feel like some of you are still in the process of learning this lesson, but you can shift this energy. I am giving you this advice. I'm kind of being a little hard on you because I do see that you are going, the current energy is you are actually stuck in this pattern. You can get out of it. It's very clear to me you can get out of it with this Eight of Swords, but you don't see it. You're not perceiving it. You need to do your inner work. You really need to sit with yourself. And maybe talk it out with someone else too, because there is this tendency to be a little aloof. Let's see. So this is kind of a heavy reading, and I do have this color therapy deck. I would love to do kind of a read from this color oracle deck here to see what colors you can be using to help you. What are the healing rays for Cancer at this time? And again, I like to keep it real in these readings. But I also know that it's important to kind of give people hope, to give something to work on. I hope I've been doing that, but I'm going to do this color reading to also add to that. These also come with a little guided visualization. What are the healing rays for Cancer? Azure, protect yourself. This sky blue here. Heavenly is actually a word that keeps coming to mind. Trusting in the divine plan. Azure purifies your aura and strengthens your connection to the divine, leading you to discover your truth and empowering you to make important life choices. Yes. Immerse yourself with azure rays to protect yourself from negative energies and to find your center. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on around you. So you can use this color, you can breathe it in, you can visualize an azure ray kind of shining down on you to heal you. And there is also an exercise here for protection. Breathe in azure rays of light to feel safe and secure, imagining a bubble of light that surrounds and protects you. Say to yourself, I ask divine healing light to surround me with love, peace, and healing. Please bar any dense energy from entering my space and affecting me. Thank you. Do this for yourself and your loved ones whenever you would like some added protection. So I do hope that this was helpful for you. I hope this color card was useful. Let me know in the comments if this resonated, if you liked the color reading. I'm kind of just still incorporating this, so I'd like to get more feedback for that. Again, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if this resonated with you, if this was helpful, what's going on, because it seems like there's some really intense stuff. Again, I have links in the description box for personal readings and Reiki sessions, and I will be having that giveaway within about a week, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, Cancer. Take care.